How to ensure data quality? So how to know if our data is clean or not? So data cleanup must be continuous and iterative process. So basically these are the process you need to follow and they should be done continuously. So first process is to inspect the data. So inspecting means checking our data against these 5 terminology. Whether our data is valid or not, whether it is accurate, whether we have a completeness, whether our data is consistent with each other, whether we have a uniformity into our data. So against these 5 criteria, we need to check or inspect our data at first. After inspecting, if we found some error, then we clean it. So after cleaning this data, we need to verify whether our data meets those 5 criteria or not now. After cleaning those data, again we check the data quality. Now, after checking the data quality and verifying it, we need to report it. We need to audit it. So this is the process of data cleanup. So let me take a scenario here. So let us say that I have a data that I need to check whether it is cleaned or not. So I will have multiple data. And let us say that in our data, I have NA values. NA means not available data. I have too many NA's values. I have NA and I have NA and so on. Now, according to the data constraints about validity, we have already discussed about the validity if you remember. So what I mean with the validity is, I have given a constraints to all of these columns saying that none of the field must be empty. None of these observations should be not available. So that is what I mean by validity. I made all of these attributes as mandatory constraints or mandatory attributes. None of the observations should be empty. So maybe here are some data that is not empty. Let's say 7 to 4. But I'm just considering in the some part of the data we have NA. Don't get confused with this empty thing, but I'm just taking there empty because maybe there is some data and I'm not filling here data. But let us say some of the fields are NA. Now, according to the validity, I'm going to check if there is some empty data in our data, and yes, I found it. There is some NAs here, some NA in the second column, some NAs in third column, and again some NAs in fourth column. Now I found it using this inspection process. So this is the inspect process. So we inspect whether our data is dirty or not. Now after inspecting, I need to clean my data. So cleaning means handling these data that we have just found which is dirty. So I found that I have the data that contains NA values. So I need to clean it. So there might be multiple steps to clean it. But now I'm just going to have a simple cleaning process. I'll just remove this NA and I will fill this NA with 0 values. 0 will be in place of this NA for all of these NAs. 0 and zeros and again zeros. So this is what cleanup process means. So after cleaning, I need to again verify it. So I need to check again if there are some missing NAs or not. No, because I have just replaced all the NAs with 0. Now no longer we have NAs in our data. Now after verifying, next thing is to report or audit. So in the report, you have something that is maintained as a log file where you will have the information of the clean that you have made to this data. Something like this. So initially we had NA values that was filled with 0 values, and this type of information will be within this log file that we will create. So this is the 4 step that we will do continuously. So first iteration, We again saw the NA value, we clean up, we verify, we report. Again we inspect until and unless certain criteria is met. So the criteria will be defined by the business. So businesses need might be different. In one company, the data cleanup process might be different, and in another company it might be different. It is completely based on the situation and the business's need. Now this is the process that we have just discussed here. First we inspect, then clean, then verify, then report what changes we had made onto our data. Now first step is to inspect, and that is what we are going to discuss in the next video.